Hola. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm glad to have you here. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Janine, Rosie, Kevin Loving. I saw Ness. Hi, Ness. I saw Danny was here too. He said, I'll be in the background. So, listen, I hadn't done a show yet, but I felt whoever did this shooting, you know who, was a paid assassin. I had to have been because of the way he was able to shoot him so well. But I was wrong about that. And I hadn't sat down to read on it yet. But I will tell you that this young man whose life is over with, he was a big, avid family of Trump supporters. This was not a far left, which Donald Trump was on Fox News and said it was a far left conspiracy. And there's going to be a lot of people that are this. There's got to be more people working on this. I'll look at this, okay? I can't say no, but I can tell you this kid, based on all the pictures when he was young and everything, they were a family of guns. You know, Utah is a red state. And he gave $237 to Trump just here recently. But he was 100% trained. And his brother, who the mother bragged about, said he was an excellent sharpshooter on Facebook or one of those. So, yeah, they always blame. But in the meantime, nothing on the MAGA that killed those two, that congresswoman and her husband, and then shot two more and shot the dog, which is just, so anyway. So I want to take a deep look, and I did write something on Facebook, which I think I deleted it. Oh my God, that Republican, Utah Republican governor, who I don't know, and I don't know Charlie Kirk either. I never listened to him. I knew they said he was a horrible person. I was very surprised when this governor was saying one thing that always stuck with me about Charlie Kirk is he always said you must forgive, because if you don't forgive or you live in fear, you know, it's a terrible thing. And I thought, oh, I didn't know Charlie Kirk said that. So I appreciated that he said that. And this governor was like, to be honest, he told everybody, I had hoped it would be someone from a different country, or he meant to say, I had hoped it'd be a left. I'd hoped it'd be someone from a different country or state. But unfortunately, it was us. It was our state and our person. So, and they're saying it's dead quiet on the other side. So, and then Trump was on Fox News and said, oh yeah, the only way you can stop all this madness is by voting. But, you know, mail ballots are fraud. But, you know, it's interesting he said by voting, because we just got another Virginia congressman because people are done with maggots. So this governor, I thought, but his speaking was soothing and almost like he was probably associated with the other side. By that, I mean, maybe not of real faith. Maybe I don't know. I think he might try to run for president, but as people, what happened is I said, what a nice speech. And I thought that was beautiful. People laid into me. My people laid into me. Oh, yeah, real nice. He said this about gays. He said this, he said that. And I didn't know all that stuff he said. But I just didn't want to get into it. You know, I said my opinion and they want to crucify me. My own people want to crucify me. Okay. And I want to know that woman, whoever her name was, I think she might have had a link to this. That's the, you know, that weird looking woman that Trump believes in. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Hi, Lisa. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, he looks a lot like Don Jr., people are saying. Laura Loomer, thank you. Laura Loomer said that, you know, Nick, whatever his name is, not Nick, the guy that was just Charlie. Charlie is not a true bluer for the president. He's this, he's that. You know, this might have set this kid off. And the FBI over there trying to say it was trans stuff going on based on initials on those bullets. Well, what it was the manufacturer of those bullets. And I mean, but they were happy to release that information. That, you know what I'm saying, you guys, nothing is going to get done until we get those people out of office. Nothing. Okay. And we're all like, well, what about the Minnesota issue? What about this? And yeah, in the ear, out. TRN was the manufacturer and they tried to make it out like it was a trans. And someone told me, and we'll see if this happens, where he said you're a fascist and if you're reading this, you're gay on the bullet. I'm almost thinking that he wanted to set it up to make it look like it was a left. So they'd be looking that way. Yeah. Laura Clarence said Laura Loomer looks like a guy. She sure does. When I first saw her, I thought she was trans. I didn't know that was a female. Oh, somebody said they had to block an old friend. I have a friend who posted about, it's so sad about Charlie and his young kids. And of course I was like, yeah, I said, but everybody below that what she said was saying it's a conspiracy. It's a left-sided conspiracy. And they were vehement about it. And I had to say something. I said, dear God, I said, where the hell do you get that? What exactly was said that makes you think it was left-sided? Why don't you wait till they have the person that shot him? And then I said, and I don't know Charlie. I've never listened to him. I don't know what he talks about. All I know from what I've heard is that he was an avid, hold on to your guns and some people will need to die. That's what I said. Yeah, they always blame the left. They always blame the left. And all those, like the bombs and all that, they were showing the list. It was all madness. But I can see them trying to set up the left, like he did, so they would look the other way. This kid thought he had it down. He really didn't realize he was going to get caught. And his father was a sheriff for years. But they have pictures. If you look online, or you don't have to look, I will just tell you, a lot of people are pulling up family photos where guns are on the table. That's their idea of a good time. Hey, listen, I was raised by a Democratic father, and he taught us all gun safety. He taught us how to shoot guns. He took us out to shoot guns. He wanted us to know how to use a gun. Okay. Yeah, the Epstein list is a big deal, but don't worry. This is all coming to clear. So let me clear my mind, you guys. Let's do some breathing, you guys. Let's clear the energy. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Breathe it out. Deep breath. Breathe it out. Deep breath. Breathe it out. I have such a most beautiful community. I got to tell you guys are just rocking. My left ear, our lady, she wrote me and said, I got all kinds of people that have, made an appointment. She said, and Linda, these people are just the best people. I can't throw you guys up high enough to tell you, you're absolutely fantastic and beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, let's dig in. Okay. We've cleared the energy. We only want the truth. We only want the truth. Now there's going to be conspiracy. I think the Laura Loomer thing was maybe something, because if this guy was a Trumpster and then all of a sudden he hates him, maybe the Laura Loomer, maybe he didn't like what this guy asking for the Epstein box. Okay, so let's look at this. Why did this young man shoot Charlie? Charlie, this is the weirdest thing, and I'm just going to say it. Charlie has not gone quite all the way to the other side. I'm not saying he's like stuck, like he doesn't want to leave his wife and kids. I see him like in a ghost form, and because when he got shot in the carotid artery, I'm telling you, it nicked when they come out with the autopsy. I'm telling you, it nicked his spinal cord too, because when he went laying out blood, it was just terrible. But you've had carotid artery injuries that I've seen where they grab and they hold tight. They might not live very long, but they grab. He tried to put his arm up to grab and it fell. So I think he was already paralyzed in some sort of way. So he doesn't want to. He's telling me his wife is right. So I guess his wife was very Christian or something. But he has things of judgment he needs to look at. They're not saying he's going to hell or anything like that. They're just saying his judgments about people, he's having to see the truth, and it's very hard for him to see it. And he wants forgiveness, he's telling me. His heart is broken. His wife is a very staunch Christian. She'll raise her kids to be like that. It's different than what you think, he's telling me. He doesn't want his wife to be a Bible thumper. He wants her to see the reality. What goes around comes around. Thank you, Jimmy. Oh, thank you. Okay, so thank you so much. Oh, thank you guys too for my birthday. Oh, I think those are right. Oh, you can't see it. Yeah, you can. From Uma, I got about 10 floral bouquets. It was just beautiful. My other P.O. box, my sister is going to give them to me tomorrow. She said you got a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. This wife of his really loved him. They actually got along really good, and he was thrilled about her. He didn't treat her less than. She was Miss Arizona 2012. He was very happy with her. Interesting. And her talking, she was a Bible thumper. Her talking, thank you, Teresa. Her talking about the Bible or things in the Bible he listened to. He was very connected to her that way. Why? Why? Ooh, the devil was all involved in this, you guys. The evil was at hand. I think this is Laura Loomer. I think she had something to do with it. Okay. Now, we know he wasn't a professional hit because this kid was a good shooter. He practiced. Was there anybody else involved? And I feel like there are other people involved, people who knew, people who encouraged him. That's what I'm getting. He was at the crossroads. He almost changed his mind, but he really thought he had a plan and he could get away with it. His own family turned him in. They arrested him at 10 p.m. last night. That cat, Patel. Thank you, Laura. That guy with the eyes like this. Oh, this was good work. No, it wasn't because of you. Using the initials stamped on the bullets like it was some trans thing. It was the initials of the maker of the bullet. Jesus. Yeah, this is Ness. This is very good, Ness. Oops. Where are you? Oh, here we go. I feel religion was a big part of why Tyler did this. He was motivated by religion or something. I don't think he was as religious as... I don't think he was as religious. Really, I don't. I don't think he was as religious as... and not even Charlie was as religious as his wife. Somebody told me he had body armor on. Is that true? Do any of you guys know? Oh, yeah, they're going to give him the Medal of Honor and all this stuff. Listen, you guys, okay, let me tell you something, okay? We can sit here and be upset and, what about this? What about that? But all these things he's giving out to people in dedication, and he was on Air Force Two. His body was flown to Utah, top of the mark. And do you remember when President, I just went blank, Clinton had the Navy help find the bodies of John Jr. and his wife and the sister? Oh, they were livid. People were livid that he used the military to get the body of who was a civilian in their mind, but he was the son of the president of the United States who was murdered. But they were all up in arms about that. But what I'm going to tell you is he's going to fight hand and tooth and nail about releasing those Epstein tapes. But the Epstein tape, let's just go ahead and look. The Epstein thing is going to come from outside. It's not coming from the inside. It's coming from the outside. Oh, and did you hear Nancy Mace last night? Before they knew who had done this, said it was a tranny. She's so ugly. Yeah, Bernie is a great guy. Trump tried to use this to not look at the Epstein file, and he's going on Fox News a lot. So let me look real quick. The Epstein files. A lot of people's imaginations are going crazy. Will they be revealed? Yes. They will be revealed, you guys. Everything is going to be revealed. And we're looking at the way it's going to change things. A lot of people will come out from behind closed doors. But don't forget, a lot of the news media, they got nothing better to do except keep going over this and over this. Right now, while he's there, there's nothing we can do. We just got to get him out of there. The Epstein emails from Yahoo, I think, got released. So a lot of stuff's getting released. Oh, hi, Nicole. Oh, God is definitely watching. God is watching. Hi, Water Lily. Let's see. Utah's a very, very white state. Yeah, it's like when the shooting happened in Utah, I'm thinking at a Utah college that he never went to, by the way. I'm thinking, wow, that's interesting. Unless it was an outsider coming in, which wasn't the case. And the other thing is, he loved Trump. And there was something Charlie did that just didn't sit right, and it could be Laura Loomer that plugged it in. I had thought maybe Netanyahu had something to do with this because he was insisting. First, Trump said, don't talk about Epstein anymore. And he stopped for a minute. And then he turned around and said, no, we really need the full, we need to shine the light on all of this. And that's when it got taken out. Utah is a very, very white state. Thank you, Cindy. My brother lived in South SLC. I don't know where that is. Many years ago, he took me on a tour of the city. Oh, it must be Salt Lake City. Here is the Mormon temple, and there's a statue of Joseph Smith. Okay. Somebody just said, what? Charlie said a week ago in an interview with Shapiro that if he gets killed, it will be Nettie. Who's Nettie? Or Netanyahu? But I don't feel the connection between this kid and Netanyahu. Oh, hold on. Loomer is now praising Kirk after posting crap about him and removing her posts. Oh, you mean Charlie? Okay. Oh, of course she's going to, now that Trump is praising him and making a big deal, probably make it a national holiday, flying flags, half mast, even though he didn't work for the government. It's really, it's like we're those kids living in the house and we got that parent that treats the one kid like they're special and we're treated like crap. So was the shooter hired? I don't feel yes, but let me double check, okay? Let me do my pendulum real quick, which tends to be right. I'll tell you, the first thing I thought is he was hired, and I felt Israel. Was the shooter hired to kill Charlie Kirk? No. Was his hate so bad? Yeah, he just hated this guy. And he thought he was doing everyone a favor. Oh, the FBI won't ever tell the truth. And they're very disappointed that notice how it leaked right away. Oh, it was on the bullets, there was something to do with trans. I had some of the best times with Paul McCartney in Salt Lake City with a concert, and it was a beautiful time, but yeah, it's white country. Okay. What? Hold on. It looked like he hid his gun in his pants, which caused him to look like he was limping. They hid the gun. He called somebody and said he needed a rifle. So we got to look into that. So somebody else, I think in the end, there'll be 3 people involved. And he wore shorts when he arrived in that gray car he had. He wore shorts and a shirt. And then he changed his clothes, but he must have gone back into that forest and got the rifle. I don't know how he got it in there. It's over for him. And let me tell you, that family too. I mean, I'm very happy to hear that the parents turned him in, but it's over for them too, because people will forever be angry. Just like when John F. Kennedy was assassinated, his wife had to hide. You know, Leisha, did you guys see those signals they were doing like that? Or were they talking amongst themselves? Because there was a lot of people in the crowd that were from Charlie, uh, that were his people. Were they trying to say something? Does anybody know of the military thing? Yeah, the Utah community feels scared because of the action of this kid. Yeah. I know I had a broken heart about Texas for the longest time, even though I was just a little girl, and what happened with the president. Nancy Mace went off yesterday saying it was a left radical that shot him. A reporter asked her, "How do you know that?" And she didn't want to hear it. Of course, they're just going to blab whatever comes out of their mouth. And let me tell you guys something else real quick. The drooping of President Trump. I think he might have had a trans ischemic attack. I was thinking Bell's palsy too, but usually your eye will droop. But look at this. I can make my lip look droopy. Wait, hold on. How did I do that? Look in the mirror, grab the side of your lip and bring it up. So was he just, his lip had got caught, but he looks like he's had a stroke. Bell's palsy, not so much because the eye will droop too. But, and of course he fell asleep at 9/11. Did you see Giuliani in the wheelchair? Okay, so, okay. Whoa, somebody's got some information here. Thank you, Traveling Moonlight. This kid was part of a Groper group, which is an alt-right group, which hated Charlie Kirk. There you go, right there. Because they're investigating it. This kid was the one that was going to do it because he knew how to shoot. He was a good shooter. I don't know if they paid him, but it felt like he was doing a service, and other people were behind it. So they might want him to squeal, but I'm seeing they're going to have a hard time getting them to say who was involved. But they want to know why. And I just feel he's going to say some stuff about how they just didn't like Charlie Kirk. Nick Fuentes. Oh, Nick Fuentes doesn't like him? Yeah. Well, he's soul cry. She said he's not a kid. He's a grown man. 22 years old. Those of you who have sons, my son didn't grow up till he was 30. Oh, thank you. Mary said, don't listen to what people say. They're talking. I can just tell you what I'm feeling. But if I'd gone on before this, I would have told you it was a planned hit. I would have swore it was a planned hit. And my immediate reaction was Netanyahu. But did I get that from source? No. I was just, how we think and we, oh my God, But I was going to sit down and do a video, and I was going to do it yesterday because he got shot on my birthday. But I was barely able to do anything. I just was so lazy yesterday. So I said, well, we'll do it today. And then they catch him. But the cards would have said they're going to catch him because I didn't know if he'd even be caught. And then that whole plane, let's look at what that plane was about. That plane that cut off its transponder or whatever. Tell me what the plane was about. And by the way, let me bring this up real quick. Remember when I told you that they're acting like they're going to give Ghislaine, or whatever you call her, out of there a pardon? And I told you something was going to happen and she's not going to get the pardon. Look at everything that's coming out. And I don't think Trump will be able to give her a pardon. I don't think he'll be around. Okay, let's look at this real quick. Let's look at that plane. The plane. Why was everybody focused on that plane? Because I feel it could have been someone, maybe they related to Nick Fuentes. Ooh. So it's involving a man that knew of this ending? But why wouldn't they take the assassinator with them? Give him a new... This will be revealed. I don't want you guys to worry. It'll be revealed what it's about. It's a man's plane, and they'll tell people who it was. It could be someone that works in the government, but I don't know if it's directly linked to this. Jack and Lulu are doing great, you guys. They're such love bugs. Oh, for my birthday, my son got me these little crystal things that have the dog's picture in. And I just broke it. No. That's Lulu. And here's Jack. That's cute, huh? They just keep barking because the other day my doorbell was ringing because so many beautiful flowers. Thank you, guys. So the deal about the plane is a man who feels high in the government was using that. But I feel they always cut off the transporter for certain people, maybe even Nick Fuentes. But was it related to this kid? I'm not getting that. It might be people that knew what he was going to do and wanted this guy to come watch. But it doesn't feel this guy had direct connection with the kid. That's what I'm getting. I could be wrong. Well, you guys don't want me to call him a kid, the man. What's his first name again? Thank you, Ola. Yep, those bullets were not engraved. It was the manufacturer's. But he did write something inside. He wrote, if you're reading this, you're gay, LMAO, and some other little things. The shooter's roommate showed stuff to the authorities. Ooh, I wonder. More is coming out. Tyler. His life is over with. But will he squeal on those that helped him or were assisting him? He was given the pat on the back. He was told, yeah, do this. And I don't think Charlie had a clue this was going to happen. He lived a little bit, with bodyguards and stuff because he knew there was people who really hated him. But, and it makes you nervous about going anywhere now because all these, especially Black colleges, were getting bomb threats. It's just horrible. And then did you hear that little kid that shot children at that? He was a child himself, belonged to the white nation, Aryan nation, which means his parents probably belong. Yeah, he had a roommate. So that's what I'm wondering. Thank you, Annie. My friend Lisa said she saw the actual shooting. I did too. Oh, it was just horrible. And the minute I saw it, I said, he's gone because that blood squirted out. It was a done deal. Every time his heart beat, the blood squirted out. No, he hasn't ascended yet. He's not yet ascended yet. He's stuck a little bit, almost like a ghost, and he's kind of going in circles, but he's having to look at his life. And there's some stuff there that that's ugly. Not that he's evil, but it's ugly. And the things he wished on others, it's the judgments he did on others is not good. These MAGAs that love to give you the time of day and tell you what's wrong with you. They don't like to hear when they were totally wrong. But he's in that state of peacefulness, But there was an anxiety. Let me tell you, when he was dead right away. They tried to revive him, but he was dead. But he was trying to get back in his body. He was desperate. It wasn't, please, it's not time. He was only 31 years old. Anyone with medical training knows that kind of injury. It's fatal. Yeah. It's fatal. Unless they immediately were able to put pressure and plot, but it looked like he fell and they were they needed to, when they dragged him to the car, you can see he was totally limp. I didn't see anything with something to pressure on his neck. He wanted full disclosure of the Epstein files. That's why I feel it makes total sense. Someone gave that guy the go nuts. Let's do this. Someone provided him with the gun. That wasn't his gun, and told him to drop off. So you're going to tell me that, oh yeah, he just picked up the phone and called somebody and said, I need a gun. There's more to this story, you guys. There's more. He wasn't by himself. And I almost feel like it's 3 people. But I'm feeling like he's really not wanting to give any other information. They might even say you're going to die in the gas chamber, but I feel him sticking to his guns. Maybe his dad will talk him into it. That's what people are showing. If you guys have seen this, the guy behind Charlie has sunglasses on, and they took that picture of this guy who was making the signals, and they were showing that it was the same guy that was there when Trump got shot. So, is this even bigger? Is it, I can't comprehend because it's so huge. I feel that Charlie was a number and that his time was up. That's what he said to me just now. I was a number and my time was up. Charlie, is there more people involved? Yes, he just said yes. It's a pretty ugly story. It's because of the Epstein, because he kept pushing for the Epstein. And the only reason Laura Loomer is trying to turn it all around is because he's gone now, so they don't have to worry. Let me ask you this. Is Netanyahu involved in this? Just give me a yes or a no. Is Netanyahu involved with this? Because do you guys remember that the President Trump announced his death, and at the same time, Netanyahu was announcing it? Because that's my first thought, you guys. But I thought it was my knee-jerk reaction is that Netanyahu is involved with it. Netanyahu is not directly involved. Charlie just said this to me. They usually can't talk to me so soon. He was involved, but not where you can place it on him. That's how he rolls. He makes sure everybody else. But someone within the United States or some people within this organization, maybe this Nick Fuentes organization, help use him, this kid. This kid doesn't even know, well, you guys don't want me to call him a kid. This person, Tyler, doesn't even know the extent of how much they used him. He hasn't figured that out yet, but they provided him with everything he knew, and now he's going to take the fall. And it's one person out of the way pushing for, I'll tell you, that people within the Republican Party are going to be very careful about saying that they want the full Epstein. I'll tell you another one they're even looking at is, who's the guy with the big head that used to wear bow ties? Who's the guy with the big head that used to wear entertainment purposes only? Exactly. Not Roger Stone, the guy who used Tucker Carlson. I feel like they have their eyes on him too. I feel that they have their eyes. I just feel that more people are on their list. They just want to tone it down. And this Charlie guy had such a mass amount of people, the young people that loved him. He was talking too much. This makes total sense. Listen, beyond the guides, you guys. Let's talk shop. They didn't. Trump talked to him and said, knock it off with the Epstein conversation. And he did. He even told everybody, I'm going to knock it off with the Epstein conversation. And then what did he do? He turned around and said, we really need those files. And that's when he got plugged. That's when Laura Loomer talked trash about him. And I think Netanyahu, way in the background, knew people, and they got this little groper group together, or whoever they were, involving Nick Fuentes. Let me tell you, this will come out down the road. There's going to be some good investigative reporting. I didn't expect to see this today. I was even thinking the kid just did this on his own. But think about it. The same time Trump and Netanyahu announced his death, like they were both on the same page. And then you've got that guy that looks like he was involved in the fake assassination attempt. That looks exactly like him. He's there. And Trump warning him to stop talking about the Epstein thing. And this kid, or this man, Tyler, he just got fed into this. There's other people involved. I can see them. I can see it's men, and I see them around him, and I see them encouraging him. Yeah, this is what we're going to do, and we'll provide you with the gun. And they knew the kid was a good shot. The man was a good. I keep calling him a kid, you guys, because he was 22. Yeah, reversed image said, what happened to the falling out of windows? That's Putin's deal. And they will do anything. So also think about this. Trump was really happy that he could make this a big deal so people would stop asking about the Epstein files, but it hasn't stopped people asking. And let me tell you, they're going to get another person in office. They only need one more vote in Congress to release the files. But getting the good stuff is coming from the outside. It won't be with anybody in the Congress. I just don't feel that. And why do they keep saying, no, you can't have it? That's because they know that he's guilty of sin. So, distraction, exactly. Tyler was not a man. He was still a gullible child. Thank you. You guys, I did not expect this. When I came on here, I thought, well, I'm going to tell everybody it was a single guy and he did the, and then they just started showing me. And then Charlie Kirk, who I don't know, I've never had anything. I know some of the ugly things he says, but he was like, he's stuck in a different plane. He wants to definitely tell his wife and his kids he would rather be with them. But also he's getting the information too about what happened. So this man who's two-faced, acting like he was this wonderful person, knew that he was going to die. Oh, so that's got to be Trump. But Trump kind of acted stupid to where I thought he didn't know. Trump is just happy that it took the burden off him and he could start talking about this. And then, of course, they wanted to blame the left. Yeah. Somebody on that plane belonged to all this. I'm shocked I said that because I didn't want to go into conspiracy theories. Someone on that plane knew about this, and I feel Nick Fuentes very strongly. 66,000 students signed that they didn't want him on the. There's a lot of people that didn't want him to come to their school, and there was a lot of white people at that thing. It was pretty crowded, but he said what he says, and you could debate him, and he has a way of turning. I noticed that when he talks to people, he has a way of turning things around. Yeah, all this stuff, you guys, I wouldn't even doubt as they figure out the truth. Just take this for what it is. As they figure out the truth, that they might not let the public know. You're not going to be able to link it directly with Trump, but you can with Netanyahu. You can tell that there's something to do with Nick Fuentes and this whole thing. But I almost feel they won't announce it. We'll find out later after this guy's out of office. Okay. So Eat Me says, I met Charlie in 2012, and he was an asshole back then. He told me while I was in college that the only reason for me to go to school was to find a husband and by 21 and have babies. I heard him say that. And one hit I got when I looked at him when they were, some of the news channel. Oh, I'm so sick of MSNBC right now. They are on my shit list. But one of the things I noticed is he's very ego driven. He loved the attention and he loves saying shocking things to make people go, what? What did you just say? It's just like McCarthyism. Remember, everybody was an asset, a communist. They just love to just pour it on. But let me tell you something. Charlie, this guy Charlie, which is my first husband's name, he believed these things, but he was softening because of that wife of his. Don't ask me why. I don't feel he talked down to her. I could be wrong. Well, Zane said, yes, Linda, I get the same too about the NAAKG jet. Black ops are foreign. That's what I'm getting. And I feel that they were there to witness, but they were keeping their hands clean. You know what I'm saying? And they cut off that transponder and they took off. That was not just, oh, well, it was somebody. I can't say that. I cannot say to you guys, this wasn't a setup. Okay. Let's just look at Zelensky real quick, if you guys don't mind. Because Zelensky has just been hitting Russia. Russia's been hitting him too, but let's just take a look. See. Tell us about our poor Zelensky. Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, they shut the transporter off for 3 hours. Zelensky's getting a lot of help, you guys. He's looking at maybe he's got a chance here. Money, he could get more money. He's coming out of the Ten of Swords, which means good news is coming. The Ten of Swords reverse is good news is coming. People are offering. A lot of people want him to win. God is on his side. He's communicating a lot. Victory out of the blue. It may be another 4 months, but he will win. Look at this, you guys. I don't want you to lose faith in Zelensky. I feel he's got some good stuff. Tell me real quick about Putin. Putin could care less about this Charlie Kirk. But they love a good, backstory. Yeah, so everybody needs to say, in honor of Charlie Kirk, release the Epstein files. Nah, Trump won't do it. I'm telling you, he will not do it. But we'll get it from the outside. And when this young lady's book comes out that I've already pre-ordered, apparently she's got some big information on there. And the Yahoo emails got released. There's going to be some, I'm just going to say it, okay? There's going to be some big news stories coming up of finding more information. I feel like there's some good reporters out there, like Robert Woodward type stuff. Okay, so Putin is not happy. He's not well. Money is just sliding out of his hands. This is the Russia card reversed, and he's got the Ten of Swords upright. He's just desperately looking for a way to recover. The Russian people are done with him. Okay, so you guys, let's look real quick. Does the guides have anything for me Oh, yeah. He said his ear got blown off. Thank you, Sherazade. Oh. Oh, and did you see what Trump said about Poland? Is France going to join the fight? Macron is sending 3 fighter jets to Poland and asked hospitals to be ready by next year for war wounded. I saw that. Yeah. I see other nations not letting this Putin guy think he's going to take over. But we will not get any help from Trump. And by the way, those Venezuelans he killed, those were innocents. Mark my words. They were just 11 guys on a boat aren't transporting narcotics. And we won't get to know the truth because they'll keep it clean. He needs to come up on charges, but they won't do it. I wish I could tell you, hey, listen, nah, he's okay. So tell me, I only want the truth. What should I tell everybody? What's coming up in the next week or so? What's coming up? What's coming up? A lot of talking. Now the stock market's going, but the NASDAQ is still up. I feel a shaking, like there's getting ready to be a good drop that affects the wealthy people. Like I hear a shaking, like an earthquake about the wealthy people. So, look at this. We're going to be happy about something. Some good news is coming in. It's revealing. It's the sun, which is the truth. Is the light is shined on it. Something will come up that we'll be very happy to hear. And everybody's saying, I told you so. I could just heard that. So Charlie, I never really get people who are just immediately dead. Interesting. You could talk to me, probably because I don't know you and I don't have any clue who you are. What do you want people to know? I'm liberated. That's what he just said to me. He's almost showing me like these hands that were grabbing him and like he was unable to really do anything but what he was doing because that's the way he made his money. So he amplified the hate for the sake of money, which is his huge sin. And he judged others. And he's doing this with like, I shouldn't have done that. He died almost immediately, he's telling me, but he was running with his body. He didn't want to die. He was hoping they could bring him back, but they couldn't do it. He's mad at Trump right now. He's not a good man. He's got a lot of negative energy. When Charlie Kirk, who's not the best person in the world, says this man is worse, he sees a lot of demons around Trump. Trump has a hard time sleeping. This whole Epstein thing is devouring him. He just wants me to tell everybody you will be at peace soon. Stay calm and think that all of this will pass. We're coming. I don't have all the information now because I'm just connected to the other side, but I will tell you this paradise is beyond words. My wife sort of described it, but she's stuck in that Christian nationalism, which is not necessarily good. I want my children to be free of this. I'll help any way I can. They're going to make a big deal about his death, but he's not happy about it. Because people are looking at this with his death and he's saying, look over here, look over here. So, yeah, the fishing boat, Judy. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I'm a little dizzy right now. Woo! Who knew I would pick this guy up? I never watched a Charlie Kirk. I don't even really know who Nick Fuentes is. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Allison. Thank you. 7.8 thousand, 7.9 thousand in the room. Yeah, I heard about her dissing. You know, she's a Libra. She really shouldn't have done that. You know, that's not how you treat. I think Biden was a good president. If you thought he made a mistake, keep it amongst the two of you. That's my feeling. But you guys can think what you want. Okay, I love you guys. Cheers. Thank you to my moderators.